Good day, everyone. I'm Chair Mary Calmi, the next reporter. So, my topic is about conflict theory. So, conflict, naam gid ni sa atong pang-adlaw-adlaw. Like sa atong balay, magkalalisay man gid ta kay naay naay gusto ang isa, nya dili sad ganahan nimo. So, understanding conflict. So, as what I've said earlier nga, conflict is a natural disagreement resulting from individuals or groups that differ in attitudes, beliefs, values, or needs. So, ang kaning conflict, pwede sad ni siya mag-originate from like naa kay mga kaaway sa una, nga hangtod karon nagdumot gihapon, and also personality differences, so naamoy lahi-lahi nga personality. So what is conflict theory? So conflict theory generally surrounds the idea that most struggles in society happen because of conflicts between different social classes of or groups. So makita gid daw ko ni nato sa society because na ay different idea or opinion, or na ay different classes ang usa ka tawo, like ang usa dato, ang usa pobre. So, conflict theory first developed by Karl Marx. So, it is a theory that society is in a state of perpetual conflict because of competition for limited resources. So, para kang Karl Marx that ang society daw kuno maka-face daw ko ni conflict because sa competition about sa atong limited resources. So, also, conflict theory holds that social order is maintained by domination and power rather than by consensus and conformity. So, according to conflict theory, those with wealth and power try to hold on to it by any means possible, chiefly by suppressing the poor and powerless. A basic premise of conflict theory is that individuals and groups within society will work to try to maximize their own wealth and power. So it means nga ang usa daw kuno ka tawo nga naay power og wealth, so mao gid na sila mugunit sa mga pobre nga nagtrabaho ra. So ang basic nga kanang solution gid daw ana kay dapat nga mo kuan gid daw kuno mo will work together daw kuno, like walay dagko og kuan sa iyang kaugalingon, taas ra kaayo siya og tanaw sa iyang kaugalingon tungod kay dako siya, like naa siya trabaho or dato na gid siya. So, understanding conflict theory. So, conflict theory has sought to explain a wide range of poverty, social phenomena, including wars, revolution, discrimination, and domestic violence. So, it is ascribed most of fundamentals development in human history, such as democracy, civil rights, to capitalistic attempts to control the masses. So, central tenets of conflict theory are the concept of social inequality, the division of resources, and the economic conflict that exists among different socio-economic classes. So, there are assumptions of modern conflict theory. So, competition. There is competition over scarce resources is at the heart of all social relationship. So, competition rather than consensus is characteristic of human relationship. Second is structural inequality. Structural inequality are inequalities in power and reward are built into all social structures. So individuals and groups, rather than benefit from any particular structure, strive to see it maintained. Next is revolution. So revolution change occurs as a result of conflict than through adaptation. So it is often abrupt that revolutionary rather than evolutionary. Next is war. So even war is a unifier of the societies involved, as well as war may set an end to a whole societies. So Marx and conflict theory. So Karl Marx argued that property is upheld by the state, making property struggles into political struggles between owners and renters, capitalists and workers, and other groups. So kani si Karl Marx mao ni siya nag-first develop sa conflict theory. So in response to the exploitation of the of the poor working class by rich capitalists. So he advocated for the poor to rise against the rich for equality in society. So naanay different group ang iyang gihimo, which is first is bourgeoisie. So maoning small group of capitalists who own the means to produce. So kaning bourgeoisie is maoni mga self-employed businessmen such as merchant, banker, or entrepreneur. Next is proletariat, which is mass of worker exploited by the bourgeoisie. So mao ni ang lower or working class. So the members of which under capitalism sell their labor in order to earn a living. Next is Max Weber. So Max Weber stated that more than one conflict over property exists at any given in any given society. So Max that possess that there are three main sources of conflict, which is the economical, social, and political. So Max Weber kay nag-focuses on the competition between social groups rather than individual, and attempts to explain social change stability as a result of social conflict. So ni believe siya into other factors. So naaday kuno two factors, so which is the social prestige. So ang kaning social prestige kay morning status, wealth, or certain occupation, rules, or ascribed social characteristic may confer a person. Next is political influence. So where one person takes advantage of a position of power over another person. So feminist conflict theory. Conflict theory has been used by feminists to explain the position of women in society. So kaning theory, which is nag-explain ni siya about sa position sa mga babae within the society. So feminist conflict theories argue that women have traditionally been oppressed so that man can benefit from position of power, wealth, and status. So hangtod karon na amang gihapon ay kanang conflict about the men and women, like more on women, sila jud makadali og kita og trabaho para nila ang babae naa na sa balay maoy tig atiman sa mga bata o kanang tigkuan sa balay. So ang man maud ako na manghita og power or more wealth and status. But sa feminist theory, like mangita sila og pamaagi nga ma-explain nila nga ang babay naa sa gyuday kanay anang power within the society. So, criticism of conflict theory. So, one common criticism of conflict theory kay mauni siya ang na-fail o capture the way in which economic interaction can mutually benefit from the different classes involved. Like, ang different classes na ada ko no siya kanang ma-benefit sa isag-isa. So, this is the most kanang quote by Karl Marx. So, accumulation of wealth at one pole is at the same time accumulation of misery, agony of toil, slavery, ignorance, brutality, mental degradation at the opposite pole. So, it means that once nga more nga ang isa ka tawo mo gathered or mo accumulate something about sa wealth. So, the more opposite would experience ang opposite pole dako na maka-experience og slavery, ignorance, kay kanang gidaog-daog na sila kay tungod sa power sa usa ka tawo. And that's all for the conflict theory. Thank you for listening. Any question?